Whoop. Recently, I did a poll on the channel. What should I do for the next lesson? 80s or 90s? And the 90s won. So here we are. And actually, I can't believe I don't have a lesson for Santeria. Hey everybody, this is the Uke Revolution. I'm Brooke and you're watching a lesson for the sublime song Santeria. I also have 2 mashup ideas for you. In this lesson, I'll teach you the chords that you need to play Santeria. These are the chords that we're using for that song if you want to go ahead and start looking at them while I talk about business stuff. So we'll learn the chords for each part of the song, the verse and the chorus. I have the intro riff tabbed. I'll show you some strum patterns that you can use for this song. And then I'm going to show you these 2 mashup ideas, Bittersweet Symphony by The Verve and Ace of Base, The Sign. So I'll show you chords for main parts of those songs, and then I'll put parts of each song together and show you like an example of a mashup. If you want to play along the whole thing of Santeria, there is a separate video for that has all the lyrics and chords on the screen, and I play the whole entire song, and you can play along with me if you like. If you just want to skip the lesson for that, if you're only interested in that song, then you can find that video linked below in the caption. Also in the caption below, there are links for membership program information. That's how you access the PDF for this song. Check it out if you're interested in joining. It's a great way to support the work that I've been doing here on YouTube for 11 years. 11 years. And you access 600 song titles, or over 600 now. Big shout out, thank you to all current members and anyone supporting in any way around the world. I really appreciate you helping me keep the Uke Revolution alive and kicking. That's it. Okay, let's learn Santeria. Okay, y'all, we're in the key of E today. It's the original key. Yes, we're playing an E. Sometimes it happens, okay? So we've got E. This is like the standard one. I like play with my thumb like this. You can't really play E7 for this song. It doesn't really sound right, but I'm not going to stop you. All right, do what you got to do. A flat, we're making a little tiny bar here on the 3rd fret with the bottom 3 strings, and you got your middle finger on the 4th fret, the E string, and your ring finger on the G string, the 5th fret G string. A flat. And then this shape, often C sharp minor, the next chord comes after the A flat in the song. So we just move this up 1 fret, and then you pick up your middle finger. This is C sharp minor. You can play C sharp minor 7 as a substitute if you like, so that's just barring the whole 4th fret. Then we have B and A. Those are all the chords you need for most of the song. There's a couple more when we get to the walk down thing at the end, and you can see it on the play along video version. In between all these forward slashes is 4 beats. So we have E for 4, A flat for 4, C sharp minor for 4, and B for 4. Mini music theory, geek, nerd moment. If you want to skip this, you can check the timestamps. The A flat. Technically, this should be G sharp because the scale of E, the key of E major, is E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E. But the font that I use calls this chord shape A flat instead of G sharp. That's just how it is. So I use A flat for this notation. It's the 3rd chord of the E scale, and it's major. We don't often see this. It's not the most common progression in popular music, but it does happen. And the other example I can think of is Dock of the Bay, which actually that would also be a great mashup song. Why didn't I think of that before? Okay, Dock of the Bay is a lesson on the channel, but it's not this key. But Dock of the Bay does the same thing where it moves from 1 to 3. And it's this really particular sound. There's something about it. So we're going to play E for 4, A flat for 4, C sharp minor for 4, B for 4. That's the verse. I don't practice Santeria. That part. And then the chorus is the what I really want to know. We pick up the pace of the chords a little bit. We have A for 2, B for 2, E for 2, C sharp minor for 2. So if I play these chord progressions with just a down strum to demonstrate like how my hand is moving around the neck. 1, 2, 3, 4. E, A flat, C sharp minor, B. And the chorus, 1, 2, 3, 4. A, B, E, C sharp minor. Let's look at strum things real quick. First one here with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. This is mimicking the guitar in the original production. So we've got this offbeat reggae ska-ish kind of thing happening. Mute down, mute down, mute down, mute down. Or you can even play mute up, mute up, mute up, mute up. Or you can do pluck strum. So you're putting one finger on each string and plucking all of them at the same time. So if I play the verse chords with this mute down, mute down, mute down strum, I'm muting with my palm. So I'm playing whatever, pluck, down, or up, and then I'm muting with my palm. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and mute down, E, A flat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and B. I'll do it again. E, A flat, C minor, B. So that's the most like the original. If we want to spice it up a little bit, these top two. So now we're counting 1E and a 2E and a 3 and a 4E and a. So this first one is down, up chunk, up, down, up chunk, up, down, up chunk, up, down, up chunk. So it's actually this little mini pattern that we're doing 2 times within a bar of 4. Down, up chunk, up. I'll do with the chords. I didn't do those yet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, up chunk, up, 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 down, up chunk. So actually that up that comes on the of 2 and the of 4. So I'm switching chords. You have this big break on the E and, the 2 E and the 4 E and. We have a break there. That's when I'm switching chords. And the next one down here, we're doing something kind of similar for the first half of it, and then we're mixing it up a little bit in the second half to make it more interesting. So we have down, up chunk, up, down, chunk, up, down, up chunk, up, down, chunk, up, down, up chunk, up, down, chunk, up, down, up chunk, up, down, chunk, up chunk, up, down, chunk, up, down, up chunk, up, down, chunk, up, down, up chunk, up, down, chunk, up, down, up chunk, up, down, chunk, up. And the last one, this is a double time island strum. So you might recognize it in there. You could see down, up, and then down, up again. So this is if you want to play the song with island strum, you can. It's going to make the vibe of it sound a little bit different. It will sound like this. 2, 3, 4. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, then I'm going to go to the chorus. Oh my God, the intro riff. Okay, this is hard for me to play. So the intro chords for Santeria are just it's kind of like an arpeggiated set of verse chords. So we still have the E, A flat, C sharp minor, and B happening. The first part that's on the E with all these zeros and sevens. 1, 2, 3, 4. 0, 7, 7, 7, 0, 0, 7, 7, 7, 0. Now we switch to A flat. So I'm actually going to use the bottom 3 strings of the A flat chord. 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 3, 4. This part's maybe the trickiest. So we've got 1 here on the C string. And then we're mostly on 4 and 7 for the next set of notes. So I'm going to put my pointer finger on the bottom 2 strings of the 4th fret to play those 4s. And then my ring finger is free to play the 7s. So we got 1, 4, 4, 7, 4, 7, 4, 4, 4, 5. Again, that's. Then it gets a little bit easier again. When we play the A flat and the B part, we can use the chord and then it's a bit easier. So we're on the B chord, and holding that B chord, we already have those 3s and 2s in place. 3, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3. Here I go. 1, 2, 3, 4. That went way better than I thought it was going to. High five. Also, I had a lot of practice with it yesterday. This is all very familiar to me from working it out. So give yourself time to practice, right? We're going to look at the chords for Bittersweet Symphony and the sign. You can use all the same kind of strum patterns and stuff. So these have been moved from their original keys so we can mash it up with Santeria. I did note on the song sheet, and I'll put in the caption or the comments below, the original key chords for both of these. So for Bittersweet Symphony, and this is the whole song. And I also tabbed that string riff that's really famous. That's also on the song sheet if you're interested in that. So there's B for 2, F sharp minor. It should be 7. F sharp minor is easier to play than F sharp minor 7, but you can choose either one. I'll show you how to play both. A, add 9, and E. And these chord shapes are noted on the song sheet, but I'll show you these extra ones that we need. So F sharp minor is the first fret, the C string, and the second fret, the G and the E string. If you want to play F sharp minor 7, you can play the 5th fret, the E string, the 6th fret, the G and C string, and the 7th fret, the A string. A add 9. A add 9 is a regular A shape. We already had this in Santeria, and now we're going to add the A string on the 2nd fret with your ring finger. And then we have E. You definitely cannot play E7 for this one. Would not sound right at all. And the sign, E for 2, C sharp minor for 2, A for 2, and B for 2. This would be the 1-6, 4-5, super common chord progression in a lot of pop music. You're going to find it in many, many songs. The singing note for Bittersweet Symphony is a bit difficult to find, so I'll tell you what it is. If you're holding the B chord here, pick up your ring finger and move it down to the C string, and then pick it up. 'Cause it's a bitters. We're going to put some lyrics and chords on the screen and do a little quick mashup. This down here, this E minor CB, this is the little interlude and intro thing that A sub bass uses in the sign. So there's E minor for 2 and C for 1 and B for 1. So this little interlude on the sign makes it a bit difficult to maneuver between these songs. The best one to switch to after that is the chorus from Santeria. But what you can do instead of playing that interlude, if you keep playing this E, C sharp minor, A, B for the last bit here, but where do you belong? It works. And then it gives you a bit more like space to move into whatever song comes next. So let me show you what I mean. I'll play that last line. 1, 2, 3, 4. No one's gonna drag you down, take you into the light where you belong. So E, C sharp minor, A, B. And don't practice Santeria. I ain't got no crystal ball. But I wanted to show you, like, if you're interested in playing this song anyway, I wanted to show you, like, actually how it goes. Okay, here we go. So we're going to play Bittersweet Symphony, the verse. Then we're going to play Santeria, verse 1, and the chorus. The chorus will, with the lyrics and stuff, will magically appear under here when it comes up. Then we'll play the sign, and then I'm going to do that interlude and go back into the Santeria chorus to show you, like, how you might switch if you are playing the actual interlude that comes in the sign. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, here we go. 'Cause it's a bittersweet symphony that's life. Try to make ends meet. You're a slave to the money, then you die. I'll take you down the only road I've ever been down. You know, the one that takes you to the places where all the veins be. Yeah. I don't practice Santeria. I ain't got no crystal ball. And I had $1 million, but I spent it all. If I could find that Hannah or that Sancho that she found, well, I'd pop a cap inside. So when I slap her down, what I really want to know, my baby, what I really want to say, I can't define. Well, it's the that I need. Oh, but my soul will have to eyes on the sign. And I open up my eyes and saw the sign. Life is demanding without understanding. I saw the sign and it opened up my back it up, take you into the light where you belong. Where do you belong? C, B. C, B. Do it again. E minor. C, B. E minor. Oh my God. C, B. What I really wanna know, baby, ooh. What I really wanna say, I can't define. God, love, make it go. Yeah, I so will have to wait. Yeah, 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 yeah. Ooh, I popped that ending on there for you. I did. This is a bit. Well, I'm gonna hate myself editing this later. I might have you die. C, B, E minor. Oh, I don't want E minor. Anyway, I got to the end of it.